So in light of one of the most bizarre elections that we've ever had, where do you see us today? How do you feel about where we are right now as a community, as a country?
I feel that we're very divided. I'm still almost in tears of the outcome of the election. I'm a gay man. This is my husband. Our rights are, we don't know where we stand anymore in this country. We feel like it's not our country any longer. Michael, would you like to add anything to that? Or
Well, I mean, I still feel it's my country, obviously, but I worry about what's going to come next, and I think that it's not just about LGBT issues, but everything. We will see what happens, but right now, what we heard during the course of the election doesn't reassure me, but, I'm trying to be positive as possible.
So, do you know people who supported Donald Trump?
yes.
How do you speak with them? How do you express your feelings to them regarding these issues?
I've been busy on Facebook unfriending a lot of people. I'm hurt. I'm hurt because not just for us, like Michael said, I have African American neighbors that are afraid that their children are going to be called cotton pickers at school because it's gone on. That she's afraid her husband's going to be stopped to frisk him because that's what Trump said during his campaign. He wants to bring national stop and frisk back. I have a niece who's dating a Muslim gentleman who's scared to death what's going to happen to her boyfriend.
Do you think he's going to enact these policies, or do you think he might back off from some of them now that he's been elected?
I don't think he's going to be in control almost. I don't think he's smart enough. I think Pence is going to take over, and I think in many ways Pence is more dangerous than he is.
I think one of the things this did show is that there's a disconnect between we as Americans and how our government operates. And I put that actually on all of us because we live in actually one of the most transparent societies in the world. You can go online and go to websites that show all of the bills that have been proposed, for the past 20 years. You can see who authored, who sponsored them, who voted for them. But people would rather just take information from journalists, from third parties, rather than seeking the truth themselves. And so as a result, everyone just feels like, oh, government's useless, and we forget that we're government, we elect these people. So if we're unhappy, we need to be involved to change things. We can't just hope someone's going to magically come in and change everything, whatever side of the fence you're on.
So we need to get involved on a more local level is what you're saying?
Absolutely. And not just on a local level, but, you can act as an individual and still, and even more today because of the internet and other communication technologies we have, and have a bigger impact than just in your immediate community. You can start a movement online that actually develops a national voice.
So what would you like to say to those who, supported Donald Trump? What would you like to tell them with respect to how you feel?
I think, if I could just say, there are people that we know who voted for Donald Trump who said that their vote was based on security issues or economic issues. And if they truly mean that, the test will be when we start seeing some of these other things happen, if they happen, like an attempt to ban people who are Muslim from coming into the country, or to start arresting and deporting people who are Latino. But let me just finish. But at that point, if they don't stand up to the people who voted for him for these other issues, if they don't stand up to and say, no, this is wrong, this is not what America is all about, then the truth is they're lying to themselves and to everyone else.
Unfortunately, from what I've seen on Facebook so far after the election, is the Trump supporters saying, get over it, he's our president, stand behind him, not saying, if he does come after you, I've got your back. We're not going to let you be deported. We're not, they're not saying that. So I think them saying that they were afraid of the security issues in this country, I think that's just an excuse to be racist.
Right. I can see your point on that. So how do we come together now? What do we do? What steps do we take?
It's hard. Most of us are afraid to have these discussions in our own families and in our own homes. So how do we have them with people that we're not related to? I think, like so many things, it has to start with the people who are most visible. It has to start with President-elect Trump himself.
Who has come out and said nothing about the protests so far.
Except saying that it was unfair to him that people were protesting. Well, protest is part of what we do. It's like that's how we express our voices in a democracy.
Absolutely.
So I think it's like I said, if people at the top on both sides of the fence start saying, look, this is a unique opportunity to really start having a frank dialogue. Hopefully that'll start filtering down. I just worry that there's so much noise and clutter that even if they did say it, it wouldn't be heard.
Right. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I mean, I can keep you here for hours, I think.
Thank you both very much. I appreciate your time.